about this relationship. How many people do we have playing this morning? Okay, great. Now, player one, type in your name, please. Very nice. Now, player two, let's have your name now. Thank you.
45
now, player
seconds.
three, I think you know the drill. Yo, one more thing. You looking for a 21-question game or more like a 7-question tournament game? Thank you very much.
30 seconds.
Player one, your buzzer is the letter Q as in quote, quote, unquote. Player two, your buzzer is letter B as in Boston baked beans. And player three, you are the letter P as in pageantry.
20 seconds.
Alrighty, heads up. Here's how the game works. First one of you to buzz in on a question gets first stab at the answer. So you buzz in, and then press 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on which answer you want. Real easy. Got it? Godspeed.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Welcome, you three. I want to remind you to use only a number 2 pencil and no fair peeking at the other players' tests. Got it? Well, here's to us. Clink. All right, let's get going by passing out the hardware. Listen up. Say the question comes up and your neighbor gets that Mount Rushmore look on their face like they don't know what's going on. It's a perfect time to buzz in, hit the S key, and screw them. Then they gotta answer. Got it? Okay, we're out of here. Player 3, time to make a decision. This category is known as Traveling Musicians Ride the Cotton Pony. How does $2,000 sound? Okay, if you haven't experienced it yourself, maybe you've heard your sister complaining of the woes of ragtime. The cramps, the bloating, the irritability. If your brother starts complaining about ragtime, of what is he probably suffering? A static-filled recording, a hoarse singing voice, an irregular rhythm, or an out-of-tune organ? Player 3, who would you like to screw today? Gotta answer it, Player 2. The term ragtime comes from ragged time, the irregular syncopated rhythm of ragtime music. Or else there's some wicked family secret about your brother that no one told you about. Guess what, Player 3? You're the one who's screwed. Your turn, Player 2. What's it gonna be?
This is the end of the tape. Turn it over to play side 2.
This one likes to go by. He's so crazy. He's so dirty. And you're playing for $3,000 cash money. Hey, remember how Martin Lawrence got into some trouble with the law a while back? You know, it takes a lot to clean up your image after something like that. In an attempt to clean up his reputation, suppose Martin Lawrence goes to someone who does Martinizing. What process will his image undergo? A 1-hour dry cleaning, a beating against pumice stones, an ultrasonic bombardment, or a rinsing with cold then hot water? Player 1, hit it. Player 1. So what's the answer, Player 2? Martinizing is a 1-hour dry cleaning process. But those pesky running drug through the street wielding a gun stains are hard to get out no matter what process you use. First rule, Player 1, be careful who you screw or it'll come back to haunt you. Category time. Player 2, it's your call. Well, looks like this category is take a sad song and make it stranger. And it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. Hey, you know that Beatles song, Hey Jude? Well, say the Beatles had actually sung Hey St. Jude. What would have made the best next line to the song? Don't cut my hair, don't make it glass, don't have a baby, or get me out of this mess. Player 2, it's yours. Now, that would be St. Anne, patron saint of women in labor. And Jude's a boy anyway. Jeez, get it together. Player 1, Player 3, who's gonna grab it? All yours, Player 1.
Could we have the check, please?
Sorry, but St. Luke is the patron saint of glass makers. Glasshole. Ever considered a career in marketing? The patron saint of desperate situations and lost or hopeless causes is St. Jude. But even St. Jude can't help you now. Player 1, hit me with the category. Coming at you, your parents really were the enemy. Looks like this one's going for $1,000. Okay, you know how your parents used to spell words out so you wouldn't know what they were talking about, like B-E-A-C-H or C-A-N-D-Y or TV? Suppose your parents had used the International Radio Alphabet to spell out their plans for the evening. How would they have spelled S-E-X? Solo Elephant Xylophone, Star Elvis Xanadu, Sierra Echo X-Ray, or Samba Elbow X-Mask? Player 1. The International Radio Alphabet uses words like Alpha Bravo Charlie for our ABCs, and Sierra Echo X-Ray is S-E-X. And before you learn about Sierra Echo X-Ray firsthand, you should learn about the dangers of Victor Delta. Player 1, it's up to you. What's next?
Excuse me, my good man. Would you be so kind as to give me...
Shake hands with politics for the Nickelodeon set. Get it right, I'm handing over $2K. All right, you know how cartoons are getting more ridiculous every day? Well, tell me this. I saw this really weird cartoon starring the voice of Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Defense. What was it called? Casper Weinberger, the Friendly Ghost, The Adventures of Mighty Meese, Fat Al Haig, or Don King of the Hill? All yours, Player 1. Casper Weinberger was Reagan's Secretary of Defense. He was really into missiles. And as for being ghostly and transparent, I mean, he's a politician, come on. Let's have a category, Player 1.
Dude, I figured it was a party, so I brought along a...
The category, cheap thrills. This one can net you $1,000. Think fast. Considering the street name for a package which contains $5 worth of drugs, what would be a fitting way to pay for it? 5 singles, 50 dimes, 100 nickels, or 500 pennies? Gotta answer it, Player 1.
Oh, just can't do anything right, can you?
Player 2, Player 3. Player 3, make it happen. $5 worth of street drugs, usually marijuana, is called a nickel bag. Which is ironic because in those transactions, they usually don't accept all your loose change. It's all about you, Player 3. Which one do you want?
1, 2,
3,
4,
5.
6.
For your enjoyment, they call me Stud Finder because I locate the wood. $2,000 says you don't know this one. Put it in gear, cause here we go. How big is a 2x4? 2 centimeters by 4 centimeters, 2 inches by 4 inches, 2 feet by 4 feet, or 1 5/8 inches by 3 5/8 inches? Take a shot, Player 2. Now it's called a 2x4. The board is actually only 1 5/8 inches by 3 5/8 inches. Well, what do you know? Someone's been exaggerating about the size of their wood. Your pick, Player 2. How about it? Uh-oh, Elmer Fudd Dime Store.
It's time for Flipperish Lesson.
Take a look at your gibberish category. Someone got up on the right side of bed. This question's gonna start out at 5,000 big ones. Now check it out. As the time disappears, so does the money. So the sooner you buzz in, the better. Okay, check this out and see if you can tell me what it rhymes with. New day, bliss applied. And don't get tripped up by the punctuation. First clue, it's set at a... Yeah, let's see what you've got, player one. Type in your answer and hit return. Whenever I hear You May Kiss the Bride at weddings, I always make sure to run up and lay a big wet one on her. I don't get invited to a lot of weddings. Player one, give me a category. The selection is looking for a few good power tools. $1,000 at stake on this one. Let's see how you handle this one. Instead of turning to matchmaker.com to find a date, suppose you buy a stud finder at the local hardware store. What could you hope to find? A beam behind drywall, a metal clasp under carpeting, a large nail under linoleum, or trained woodworkers for hire? Up to you, player three. Trained woodworkers, try Chippendales. Player one, player two, it's yours. A stud finder is an electronic device that locates the upright supports or studs behind drywall or plaster walls. And if you're still not getting any dating satisfaction after that, I know a trained professional who makes house calls.
Hi, Cookie. Did you call me?
Player two, give me something. Well, what do we have here? I'm wearing my former co-star! $2,000 for a correct answer. Hollywood's tough. One day you're a big star, the next you're a wardrobe. Which of these characters could be ground up and made into a rayon shirt? Pinocchio, the Thing from the Fantastic Four, the Tin Woodsman, or Chucky from Child's Play? Player one, hit it! The Tin Woodsman? Well, not unless you don't mind a bad case of tetanus. Player two, player three, who wants it? See ya. Well, the thing is made of rock, and ground-up rock is usually called sand. Let's call it what it is, a complete and utter failure. Rayon is made from chemically treated wood pulp. Of course, it would be hard to decide what size to buy, what with the constant shrinking and growing. That's it for round one. Let's go to round two. Can't get started without some screws. Okay, one screw for each of you. Every question in round two is worth twice as much, so we got some serious cash at stake here. Let's get to it. Player three, you make the call.
Hey, honey, how many eggs do we have?
We got 12!
11!
This one's called Beware of Strong Eddies, Mr. President. Better wake up. There's $6,000 at stake. Put your tray in the upright position. It's time for takeoff. Say the White House classified the Whitewater scandal in the same way that Whitewater Rapids are classified. If Whitewater were a Class 6 scandal, what would that most likely indicate? It'll be an intense but predictable scandal. Rescue from the scandal may be impossible. Self-rescue from the scandal will be easy, or a strong Eskimo roll might be necessary. Player one. According to the American Whitewater Affiliation, rescue from Class 6 Whitewater may be impossible. So, the president should keep in mind that even if something looks totally writable, he might want to just pass on it. Player one, tell me what's happening.
All right, angry men, party of...
12!
And this one is, Eddie Bauer is staring at me. How does $4,000 grab you? Hope you brought your suit. It's time to get wet. If you have a diastema, which of these stores might you think is constantly mocking you? Banana Republic, The Athlete's Foot, The Gap, or LL Bean? Player two, who do you want to screw? Player one, you've just been screwed. Let's see what you've got. People with diastema have a gap in their teeth. And if I were you, I'd start stocking up on Gap socks to stick in that freaking huge gap between your teeth, freak. Hey, player two, right back at you with that screw action. Player one, your choice. What? May I introduce, my teacher's ancient, and you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. Sure, we know Socrates is a philosopher, but his students knew him as, well, as a teacher. Let's say Socrates is your teacher. Based on the Socratic method, how would he reply to the question, can I go to the bathroom? God is dead? I don't know, can you? Yellow be mellow, brown flush it down, or you need to pee, therefore pee. Player 3, do it. You're screwed, player 1. Give me an answer. Socrates liked to answer questions with questions so that his students would figure things out themselves. My teachers like to answer questions with questions to make me feel dumb for using the word can rather than may. Stupid teachers. Oh, player 3, did you lose something? Well, it's being returned. Player 1, ante up. Now serving, Xander Van Yippet, I can turn this spaceship around. Play your cards right, you win $4,000. Heads up, here it comes. Considering how the spaceship in Close Encounters of the Third Kind communicates with humans, what Earthling game might the aliens like for long space journeys? Mad Libs, Othello, Simon, or Hungry Hungry Hippos? All yours, player 1. Simon is that game where you try and repeat the machine's pattern of lights and sound, a lot like the scientists and the spaceship communicate in Close Encounters. Hey, now that I think about it, that's happened to me. I've had a close encounter, only we called it a Pink Floyd laser show. Let's have a category, player 1. This little number's known as nominee Most Gratuitous Pamela Anderson Joke. 4,000 big ones for a right answer here.
She's pissed.
He's pissed.
We're pissed. So pissed about a question. We're pissed about.
All right, this pissed about a question letter comes from Shane H. of Indiana. And Shane writes, what was up with that? It was just stupid. Not stupid funny, just stupid. It's a good thing I was whacking off to the Pamela Anderson Tommy Lee video, or I probably would have puked from the stupidity. My God, people, that's like something a 6th grader would find funny. Signed, Shane. Well, Shane, it's always a pleasure to get mail from alert players like yourself. So here's a question just for you. Which of the following is like something a 6th grader would find funny? What was up with that? It was stupid. Not stupid funny, just stupid. I would have puked from the stupidity. It's a good thing I was whacking off. Alright, player 2, you're getting screwed. Screw back. A little informal poll tells us that 6th graders love to say puke. So thanks for your opinion, Shane. We truly value players like you who take the time to write. And so do the 6th graders. Hey, player 1, looks like you're the one who's screwed. Player 2, take your pick. Superb choice. Come on in close to the keyboard, player 2. The rest of you give it a rest, because player 2 is about to embark on a dis or dat. The category for this dis or dat is Ye Old NASA Program. Now I'm going to read off 7 items, and for each one I want you to tell me if it's a medieval job, one of the original Mercury astronauts, or both. As each one comes up, if it's a medieval trade, press 1. If it's one of the 7 Mercury astronauts, press 2. Press 3 if it's both. And press 4 to skip. Each correct answer will net you $1,000, but $1,000 off for each one you miss or any that you just don't get to. Okay, can I have 30 seconds on the clock, please? Let's dance. Carpenter, medieval job. Glenn. Shepherd. Crier. Cooper. Grissom. Last one, Page. That's all she wrote. You picked up 5. Not memorable, but not terrible. Okay, we've been here long enough. Let's keep going. Player 1, it's up to you. What's next? The category is, it's fun for a girl and a boy. You get 4,000 clams for this one. Ah, spring, my favorite season. If you take the spring out of a standard slinky, what will you be left with? 20 feet of rubber, 80 feet of wire, 100 feet of demagnetized sheet metal, or 200 feet of aluminum? Player 1, hit it. 200 feet of aluminum? Too bad you can't recycle that answer. Player 2, player 3. Player 2, it's yours. You failed shop, didn't you? Player 3, it's... The standard slinky is 80 feet of coiled wire. When you're a kid, you play with it. When you're an adult, you get it out of the house before the police show up. Your call, player 3. Say hello to boldly go where key demographics want to go. How does $2,000 sound? Let's rock. If 7 of 9 from Star Trek Voyager translates her name to the appropriate percentage, what will her friends call her? 50%, 69%, 78%, or 100%? Player 3, do it. Divide 7 by 9 and you get .7777 or 78%. Try to divide 7 of 9 from her costume, though, and you get rubber burns. Player 3, what looks good to you? Pucker up for, well, blow me. Down. And get this one right, you got 4K coming your way. Just step up and take a swing at this one. Imagine one day Olive Oil confesses to Popeye that she's really extra virgin olive oil. What shocking news did Popeye just receive? She's been pressed at least 3 times, she's distilled in alcohol, she was bottled by monks, or she has extremely low acidity. Player 1. Extra virgin olive oil is from top-grade olives that have less than 1% acidity. But don't you think that olive being an extra virgin makes sweet pea an extra mystery? Player 1, hit me with the category. Here we have artillery hitting below the belt. Set up straight. This one's worth $6,000. Okay, now, over the years, many people have told stories of the famous World War II Battle of the Bulge. But if World War II had had a Battle of the Groin Bulge, what would eyewitness accounts of the battle report? Sherman quietly soothed his hemorrhoids. I saw Patton fixing his hernia. Custer knelt to rub at his muscle spasm. Or, then Washington took out his own spleen. Player 3, make it happen. General Patton was involved in World War II's Battle of the Bulge, and a groin bulge usually indicates a hernia. But however skilled in battle, I wouldn't want Patton commanding forces on that battlefield. Player 3, give me some category. You're about to embark on the attack. Hit your buzzer when you see 2 words on the screen that match. $2,000 if you're right, 2,000 off if you're wrong. It's not so hard as long as you remember this.
Remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. You're a complete tool. Well, that's better than half a tool, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, good luck. see who took it! Player one's got it! Player one, you won by a nose hair. Good thing you never used that nose hair clipper you got for your birthday last year. Either way, you can breathe a lot easier knowing...
You don't know Jack!
Hey there, all three of you made it to the high scoreboard. How about that? Tell you what, I'll go get the parade ready. You decide if you want to play again. Let me know.
And that's not all. Taboo pleasures on Old Shoe Diaries tonight.
Good evening. In the news this hour, a new report shows that 73% of Americans receive daily information about their political, social, and cultural environments from what they describe as news programs. Just what are these so-called newscasts, and where are they getting this information? We'll have the whole story tonight. More after this.
Don't throw rocks.
Why?
What's wrong with you? Can't you listen, you little...
Brought to you by the Department of Unnecessarily Angry Paternalism.
Two women on the run from the law. One's a bitter waitress, the other an androgynous teenager. It's time to go on the road with Velma and Louise.
Look, a spot of blood on the car. I think it's a clue.
Velma, you just saw me shoot that guy. We're on the run, remember?
Screw that Fred guy. He always treated me like a second-class citizen. Whoa! Slow down, Louise. My glasses fell off. I can't see without my glasses. Where are my glasses?
Velma, you'd better change quick. The cops are gonna spot us from a mile away with your orange sweater.
But I can't see a thing without my glasses.
Yee-haw! Velma and Louise, coming soon to a theater nowhere near you.
I lost 5 inches off my waist.
I went from a size 10 to a size 2.
I got results I hadn't seen in years with a personal trainer.
That's how millions of citizens describe Cybo, America's total workout solution.
I lost 165 pounds.
I balanced my checkbook.
I'm a better father. I'm a better husband.
Developed by scientists at the Cyberobic Institute, Cybo combines the power of the individual, the mysteries of ancient self-defense, the mysteries of modern microchip technology, and some of today's hottest music. 1, 2, that's it. Lift, insert, reprogram.
Cybo saved me.
I've devoted my life to Cybo.
I just lift up cars and throw them.
Cybo will bring you to a higher level of physical well-being.
I stopped going to church.
Cybo is the total solution to total fitness.
Hello, friends. This is Special Agent Stanley G. Mann of the Central Intelligence Agency. Most of the world knows by now that the recent nuclear tests in India and Pakistan really caught us with our pants down. Emerging third world countries developing the capability to detonate nuclear weapons is the kind of thing we normally like to know about. Heck, it's our job. But now there's a way for ordinary Americans like yourself to help us maintain up-to-the-minute intelligence on the nuclear balance of power worldwide. If you have information about the development of nuclear technology anywhere in the world, simply pick up the phone and call our Busters hotline. Dial 1-555-NUK-BUST. If your anonymous tip leads to the discovery of nuclear activity on the part of a hostile foreign power, you'll get a free Nuke Busters t-shirt as a token of our appreciation. So remember,